So today we will discuss banking topic wise mains English. Today's chapter is fillers. Fillers is nothing but the fill in the blanks. There are two different sentences with a blank space in each sentence. Choose the word from the given options which fits appropriately in both the blanks, adding a proper and logical meaning to the sentence. So here you are having two sentences and there is a blank in each sentence. So based on the sentence you have to identify which is the correct blank. South Korean shares traded sharply lower Monday morning amid the dash trade between Washington and Beijing that clouds global growth outlook. Clouds means, so here clouds means worry, that worry. Then amid means surrounding. Amid means surrounding. So here South Korean shares traded sharply lower Monday. That means we can see the decrease in the fall of the South Korean trade shares. Why? Because of the dash trade war between Washington and Beijing. Between USA and China, there is an increasing trade war. So we should use some blank, some word with the meaning increasing. So you can use escalating, increasing trade war. So you can use which word? Escalating. Escalating means increasing. Between Washington and Beijing that clouds global growth outlook. So here the remaining words, you have to see the remaining words also. Directly we can take the word increasing, but increasing is not there, escalating. You should know the meanings of the remaining words. Submissive. Submissive means obedient. Submissive means being obedient. Compliant, that means obey the rules. Compliant means obey the rules. Subservient means obeying others. Obey others without any question. Without any question. Obey others without any question. That is nothing but subservient. Squander means waste. Squandering money, wasting the money. So here these four words will not fit here. We can use escalating. Now let us see the next thing. Chinese officials condemn the latest rounds of demonstrations, calling them the first signs of terrorism is an indication of escalating rhetoric. Rhetoric means speaking effectively. Speaking effectively. So here Chinese officials condemn the latest rounds of demonstrations or protests. Chinese officials, they are condemning the protest and they are calling those protests as the first signs of the terrorism. They are seeing the protests as the first signs of terrorism. It is an indication of escalating rhetoric. Escalating means increasing. So what the people are expressing their opinions openly. So escalating. Here we should use the word escalating. So in both the blanks, escalating is correct. Let us see the next sentence, the second one. Second one. Because the economy is in dash, millions of families are losing their homes. Here loss, we are talking about loss. So if it is in loss, the economy is not in a very good condition. It is in a difficult situation or it is in a disorder situation. So we should use shambles. SHAMBLS. Shambles means total disorder. Total disorder. Because the economy is in shambles, millions of families are losing their homes. Now the US telecommunication industry lies in shambles and it has the potential to damage. Here also we are talking about damaging the economy. Damaging the economy means which is not in a proper order. So again we should use the word shambles only. Shambles means total disorder. Now remaining words. Distant. Distant, all of you know the meaning, far away, being far away. Then that is nothing but indignation. So indignation means anger with unfair treatment. Anger with unfair treatment is indignation. Then fatigue. Fatigue means tiredness, alsipovodam, tiredness. Then confident, that all of you know. So here we should use which word? Shambles. Shambles means total disorder. Next question. In a year after she first went to Helen Keller, Miss Sullivan found herself and her pupil the center of a dash fiction. Fiction is nothing but a imaginary thing is called as a fiction, which is not real, that is called as the fiction. So, which is not real means we cannot use optimal. We can't say optimal fiction. Optimal means favorable. So, that word is not correct here. We cannot use optimal. Then we cannot use inequitable. Inequitable means unfair. We can't say it is an unfair fiction. So, this is also wrong. Corporeal. Corporeal. Corpse means body. So, corporeal means relating to person's body. Relating to person's body. So, here we are using corporeal. You observe the word real. Here you observe the word fiction. So, this is also not correct. Corporeal is not correct. So, we can use stupendous. Stupendous means extremely impressive. Stupendous meaning extremely impressive. So, stupendous friction is correct. S-T-U-P-E-N-D-O-U-S, stupendous. A resounding cheer. A resounding cheer. What is the meaning of resounding cheer? Which is something very impressive. Resounding cheer means very impressive. A resounding cheer went up from the dash mass of the people that was streaming. So, here mass is singular, we should use was. Streaming through the gates into Hyde Park. So, here we are talking about some people who are gathered at the gates of the Hyde Park and they are giving resounding cheer. So, when the people will cheer? When there is a thing which is extremely impressive. So, any super game or any super cricket match if you are seeing, you will cheer up. So, that is nothing but stupendous. Stupendous is the correct word here. So, both sentence we can use the word stupendous. Let us see the next question. The witness was frightened when the defendant gave her a dash glance filled with hatred. So, here you see the witness was frightened. So, here witness, those who have seen that incident, is the witness. He was frightened when the defendant gave her a threatening look. Glance means look. What type of look? Threatening. Threatening means baleful. Baleful meaning threatening. Something which frightens, that is threatening. So, baleful is the correct word. So, what is the meaning of pious? Pious means religious, which is incorrect. Pious look we can't use. Then, what is the meaning of sloppy? Sloppy means being casual. Sloppy meaning being casual. Then, what is the meaning of pertinent? That is nothing but relevant. Pertinent means relevant. Revered means respected. Revered means respected. So, here which with hatred, with hatred. So, what type of look it is? A threatening look. He remembers the general's pale, baleful eyes staring at him blankly, and then the inexplicable wink. So, what is the meaning of inexplicable wink? Unable to understand the blink of the eyes. Unable to understand the blink of the eyes. So, that is nothing but inexplicable wink. He remembered the general's pale. So, all are negative sense. Pale is a negative. Staring at him blankly and then inexplicable wink. So, here we are to use baleful. Baleful means threatening eyes. What type of eyes? Threatening eyes. So, baleful is the correct word in both the sentence. Next, an unrelenting chilly gale. So, what is the meaning of unrelenting chilly gale? Continuous strong wind. Continuous strong wind. So, unrelenting chilly gale means continuous strong wind kept to the dashed mountain lake and the pebbled shore riveted in a lazy embrace. So, here riveted means holding. Riveted means hold. Lazy embrace. Lazy embrace means pleasant look. pleasant look. So here we are talking about a mountain lake and the scenery that is surrounded around the lake. So an unrelenting chilly gale kept the dash mountain lake. So here we should use which word? Which is the correct word? Pristine. Pristine means original condition. Original condition. So because of the continuous strong wind, we can see the lake in the original condition, which is very clear and which is not polluted, and the pebbled shore revived in a lazy embrace. Set between the coast of Sicily and North Africa, there is abundance of natural beauty with the pristine coastline, original coastline, something which is not damaged. So pristine is correct. In both the word, we can use pristine. Then, what is the meaning of languish? Languish means growing weak. Languish means growing weak. Then, we are having the word frugal. Frugal means economical. Frugal means economical. Economical. Then, myopic means short-sighted. Myopic means short-sighted. Transient. Transient means lasting for the short time. So, which is very temporary. Transient means temporary. So, here we are talking about the nature and mountain lake which is very fresh and free from pollution. So, we should use the original condition. Pristine is the correct word. Next sentence, question number 6. Let us see next question, question number 6. 6 to 10. In the following questions, a sentence is given with 2 blanks followed by 5 options. You have to choose the most suitable combination of words among the given alternative options, which will fill the blank coherently, forming a grammatically correct and contextually meaningful sentence. If none of the given combination is appropriate, mark 5 as the answer. The National Medical Council Bill, which was passed by Rajya Sabha last week with some modifications or rectifications. So, imagination, you can see the word and you can tell which is correct and which is not. So, we can't say bill with some imagination, some attraction, some situation. So, some changes. So, we have to use which word? Modifications. And sent to Lok Sabha for approval has evoked widespread protest from the doctors. The bill which was passed by Rajya Sabha last week with some modifications has caused the doctors very angry, and there is a serious widespread protest from the doctors. So, here based on the first blank you can select the second blank. So, here with some is a plural, we should use plural. So, modifications is correct. Modifications is correct. Then, what is the meaning of archaic? Archaic means old and no longer in use. No longer in use means archaic. What is the meaning of ransack? Ransack means to look thoroughly. To look thoroughly. Any one person in a rough manner. In a rough manner. So, to look thoroughly in rough manner is nothing but ransack. So, here which is the correct one? B. B is the correct one. Next sentence. Creditless recoveries are generally dash rare around the world, given that it's hard to fund growth without the dash of the funders in chief nation banks. So, without the support, second thing we can easily observe, without the support, it is hard to fund growth without the support of the funders. So, support is correct. Then, creditless recoveries are generally considered. Generally considered. So, considered is correct and support. Electrocuted means to kill by electric shock. To kill someone by electric shock. By electric shock. Citations means official summary. Citations means official summary. Spike means increase. Spike means increase. So, here creditless recoveries are generally considered rare around the world, given that it's hard to fund growth without the support of the funders in chief, a nation bank. So, here based on the second blank, why? Because first, instead of taking the first blank, second blank is very easy. Support is correct, and based on that considered is also definitely correct. Let us see the next question. Question number 8. Some researchers discovered that even though large firms with only an or a dash level of knowledge, so beginner level, intermediate level or advanced level. So here we can use intermediate level of knowledge. So intermediate level of knowledge means, so we don't know that knowledge is not primary or not advanced. We know very little thing about it, and we don't know larger things about that. That is nothing but intermediate. Intermediate means in between primary level and advanced level. So we should use the word intermediate. That's why we are using an. Some researchers discovered that even though large firms with only an intermediate level of knowledge, capital intensity had longer, more legally watertight policy. We are talking about a strict policy. Watertight means strict policy, which is legally correct. So we have to use definitely which word? Legally. Legally watertight policy. They were more likely to share the browsing history of their users with third parties. Some researchers discovered that even though large firms with only an intermediate level of knowledge capital intensity had longer, more legally watertight policy that were more likely to share the browsing history of the users with third parties. Now, intermediate and legally is definitely correct. Then, precarious. What is the meaning of precarious? Dangerous. Precarious means dangerous. Now, let us see the next question, 9th one. And placidly is there, one more thing. Placidly means free of disturbance. Placidly means free of disturbance. Let us see the next question, 9th question. There is a little doubt that insolvency and bankruptcy code is a vast dash on the two earlier laws. So here we are comparing the new law with the two earlier laws. So there will be some improvement. So definitely we should use improvement. Is a vast improvement. Is a vast improvement on the two earlier laws legislated to recover bad loans from the failing or defaulting companies. So those who are not paying the loans, those companies are called as defaulting companies. So definitely you can choose the correct word. One is the improvement. We are talking about one new law, insolvency and bankruptcy code. That is the improvement on the previous earlier two laws. We are comparing this one with the other two laws. So improvement is correct. And those who are not able to repay the loans, they are nothing but defaulting. So it is a defaulting company. So improvement and defaulting is definitely correct. Then what is the meaning of generalizing? To look generally. To look generally is nothing but generalization. Then automation means make a system to operate. Make a system to operate itself. To operate itself. That is nothing but automation. So here this is the correct thing. Next question. In theory, central bank independence means that monetary policy makers have the freedom. So independence. Here we are talking about independence. So which word is correct? Freedom. Have the freedom to make unpopular but necessary decision, particularly when it comes to combating, fighting. Combating means fighting. Combating the inflation and financial excesses because they do not have to stand for election. So in theory, central bank independence. Being independent means having the freedom. So freedom is correct, and we are fighting against the inflation and financial excesses. So combating is also correct. Then alteration, faltering. Faltering means walk unsteadily. Walk unsteadily. Alteration means changing. Alteration means changing. So which is not correct. Freedom and combating is definitely correct. Let us see the next question. Question number 11. 11 to 13. Here also we are having two blanks in each sentence and we have to select from the given options. A panel set up by RBI to dash the dash influence of offshore rupee trading on the domestic currency market. So here a panel is set up by the RBI to calculate is not appropriate, to examine is correct. To examine the rising influence, increasing influence of offshore rupee trading on the domestic currency market. Here absolute means no longer in use. Absolute means no longer in use. Then solicit means ask for something. Ask for something. Entrusting means giving responsibility. Giving responsibility. So here a panel is set up by RBI to examine the rising influence of offshore rupee trading on the domestic currency market. Government has come up with a solution to examine the decrease in sea level water because of the increasing population, means rising population. So examining and rising is definitely correct. Next question, 12th question. The social media platform has dash a threat to media houses by dash into many people's primary interface for all media engagement. The social media platform had posed is correct. Posed means presented a problem. Present a problem. So social media platform has posed is correct. Here shunned is there. Shunned means avoided, which is not correct. So here the social media platform has posed a threat to media houses by turning is the word followed by preposition into many people's primary interface for all media engagement. The tribal people posed a great threat to the tourists as the tourists were turning the forest into barren lands. Because the tourists are turning the forest into barren land, tribal people are getting angry at the tourists. So here posed and turning is the correct answer. Let us see the next question. After dash the mobile telephone market, Mukesh Ambani led Reliance Jio becomes India's largest dash telco. So largest dash telco means profitable telco. So here we are talking about profit of one company, Mukesh led Reliance Jio. So it is nothing but profitable is correct. So second blank is very easy. After invading. So what is the meaning of invading? Invading means occupying. Invading means occupying. So after invading the mobile telephone market, Mukesh Ambani led Reliance Jio became India's largest profitable telco. The invading of the Indian subcontinent by Europeans proved a lot profitable for the upcoming generations of the Britain. So why? Because the British has invaded the Indian subcontinent and they have looted all our gold and money. That's why it is very benefit for the upcoming generations of the Britain. So invading of the Indian subcontinent by the Europeans provided a lot profitable. So one is the correct thing. Next one. So determinist means being determined. Being determined. Allocating means distributing. Allocating means distributing. Now next one. Next question, 14 to 15. Last week saw a flurry of activity from the government aimed at the dash economy. So far it was in dash, but it has now woken up to the economic dash that is spreading like wildfire. Again, spreading like wildfire is nothing but we should use in the negative sense. So economic crisis is correct. So based on third blank, you can take the second and first. Last week saw a flurry of activity from government aimed at dash the economy, repairing the economy. So you should use which word? Reviving the economy. But here the hint is we can tell economic crisis spreading like a wildfire. Based on the third blank, we can fill the remaining blanks. So last week saw a flurry of activity from the government aimed at reviving the economy. So far it was in denial. So what is the meaning of denial? Denial means refusal. So here hint is in the third blank. So which is the correct option? B is the correct option. Now let us see the next question. 15th question. Entrepreneurship is a recent phenomena since the time we were hunter gatherers. Human progress has been with entrepreneurship, the often accidental, sometimes deliberate process of discovering and delivering a positive change of scale to the Q. So here, this is the hint. Here status Q is the correct answer. Status Q, what is the meaning of status Q? Status Q is a Latin phrase. It is a Latin phrase meaning existing state of affairs. Existing state of affairs. Status quo means existing state of affairs. Entrepreneurship is not a recent phenomena since the time we were hunter-gatherers, nomadic. That means early man life. Nomadic hunter-gatherer. So here first word should be nomadic. Human progress has been synonymous, has been synchronizing. Synonymous means synchronizing with entrepreneurship, the often accidental, sometimes deliberate process of discovering and delivering a positive change of scale to the status quo. Okay, next class we will discuss the quant.